Hello and welcome to this episode of Bullseye, my daily take on issues of significance in Goa, where I bring clarity from clutter. The issue today at hand is the sudden change in the presidentship of the Goa Congress party. This has evoked mixed reactions, including a backlash from the Benali Congress bloc and a lament by the MP of South Goa, Captain Vijai Fernandez, who has said that he didn't like the manner in which he was not consulted and the fact that he, as an MP, was completely clueless when this decision was taken. Less than a week ago, Girish Chodankar had told Inc. Goa that he would now spend more than 20 days a month in Goa reviving the party, but he stopped short of saying that he would be the next Congress president because he was needed in Tamil Nadu. Obviously, that was not the complete picture that he wanted to reveal at that point of time, given the fact that in October and November, when his presidentship was almost finalized, there was a rearguard action made by the other faction of the Congress in Goa, who rushed to Delhi and to Bangalore and had discussions with the High Command there and with Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge in Bangalore, where Captain Viryat and others insisted that Generation Next should not be replaced by Generation X, with Girish Chodankar obviously representing Generation X. And this discussion and other attempts had actually stalled that initial move. But after Girish Chodankar's success in Tamil Nadu, where he managed to get the Congress as part of a government in Tamil Nadu after 59 years, he obviously had more brownie points and more strength to work with as far as the Congress was concerned. And he and, of course, Mr. Kharge, K.C. Venugopal, the top brass that kind of handles Goa's affairs, both formally and informally, they decided to push Girish back into the scheme of things. And this makes the whole issue extremely interesting, and I'll shortly delve into the big elephant in the room, which is the alliance with the Goa Forward. Now, let us look at Amit Patkar and how he got into the position that he was appointed in 2022, because the Congress suffered a heavy loss in the last assembly elections, after which there was pressure on Girish Chodankar to relinquish his position because of lack of performance, and eventually Chodankar was eased out. He was never really out of the scene, but he was eased out and a younger face was brought in. Now, this new team consisting of Amit Patkar, Captain Vijai Fernandez, along with a lot of different blocks all over Goa, started working together. They immediately jumped into the Lok Sabha preparations, and much before Captain Vijai Fernandez was handed over the ticket, a lot of ground had been covered by him and his team. And that is the time when many of the blocks were revived, when the booth committees were formed. And notwithstanding the fact that there was an alliance and other parties supported the Congress in the Lok Sabha elections, the fact remained that the preparatory work and the groundwork done hitherto was the reason why the Congress managed to win in spite of all odds in the last elections. Now, it is this team which wanted that continuity to happen. And if you see the Zilla Parishad elections, the same thing happened where Viryat, his team, and the lot that was close to Patkar did a lot of work in the Zilla Parishad, and the Congress did reasonably well in many of the Zilla Parishads. In fact, in yesterday's protest meeting of sorts in Benali, the bloc Congress actually said that in spite of all odds, we managed to win this for you and win this for the Congress. Captain Vijai Fernandez, also little known to others, who actually campaigned a lot in North Goa as well, especially in the TV area, because he originally belongs to that region. His family comes from there. And I have it on good authority that he himself was campaigning there, whereas certain leaders of the Congress from that and adjoining constituencies were reluctant to campaign for the Congress till the Congress bloc went in front of their home, front of the one person's home, and actually demanded that he actually show his face and come out. And that is when the concerned person reluctantly stepped out. Now, these are things that are there, not on record, but very much under the surface. Now, given the situation, one understands that the other Congress meaning the faction that was led by LOP Yuri Alemao, who recently had built his bridges with Girish, and both of them were working in tandem. This particular alliance, the internal alliance, was clearly edging towards RG, and the elected Congress MLAs were a part of this this process of building bridges with the RG, and actually leaning towards the RG alliance before RG pressed this self-destructive button, and the party exploded. But before that, RG very much was the blue-eyed pick for Yuri Alemao and that group. And this kind of a leaning had become very obvious, which obviously led to the Goa Forward conversation going on and off the table. After the RG exploded, the Goa Forward alliance became really a fait accompli when they decided now to do a little bit of business with Goa Forward, because otherwise the alliance larder would be completely empty. And that is when the lip service towards an alliance with the Goa Forward started happening. Girish Chodankar, in his last interview before he became president, last and the only one within Goa, actually said that we need to look at what people want. People's desires are more important than anything else. It's not what the party wants. And an alliance with Goa Forward is something that is on the cards. When pushed about timelines, uh, he uh, he said that, look, timelines will be sorted out. Even if the elections happen in December, we will look at a July August situation where an alliance with Goa Forward will be worked out. But yet again, that itself, those timelines practically do not work, because that leaves very little time. And at the same time, he also left that window open where he said, let both parties campaign in the constituencies they want to, because otherwise workers would get demoralized, and then we would figure out what to do. So from the body language, one realized that the Goa Forward conversation was on the table because it had to be there. But it did not seem as if they were pushing it, and they were kind of going forward. They were proactively looking at it. So there was no proactive push towards getting the Goa Forward alliance on board, and that was very clear. Now, after Girish Chodankar became the president, a couple of days ago, there was a press conference where he again, when asked this question specifically, turned around and stated that the matter would rest with the High Command. People's will would be taken into consideration, and then he passed the ball back to the High Command. But incidentally, a senior member of the High Command was sitting right next to him, Manikrao Thakre. And when Chodankar was saying this, there was not even a nod or even an acknowledgement that this would be taken to the High Command. Manikrao Thakre, as the High Command's representative, kept absolutely silent when these words were uttered by Chodankar. So it did not evoke too much of confidence. Now let us see what really happens, because if elections are actually advanced, you are left with only about 3 to 4 months time. And let us not also forget that it's not just about saying that alliance will happen, because alliance is all about numbers. You need to sit down, you need to meet on 3, 4, 5 and more occasions to thrash out seats. You may even turn around and offer seats which are far less than what the other party expects, and the whole discussion goes off the table. So there are a lot of factors that are not decided, are in the gray zone, and there is no clarity on when conversations will begin to even put this in order. And this is where the problem lies. There is another important issue that I'd like to flag. When Girish Chodankar's name started doing the rounds again, there was an advance reaction coming in from different parts of the state, from the Congress. I got messages from the leadership or senior members of certain blocks, including Nuve, flagging tweets and other messages put out by the Tamil Nadu Congress leaders, who alleged that the Congress got less seats in Tamil Nadu than what they did because tickets were sold and compromised. These messages were flagged and sent, stating that the same thing could happen in Goa if Chodankar comes back into the fold. Now, this is not some hush hush conversation, because a journalist asked this directly in the press conference to Chodankar, saying that these are allegations that tickets would be sold. And of course, Girish, even earlier and yesterday, reacted sharply and said if there is even one instance of anybody coming and proving or stating that any candidate or an aspirant that tickets were sold, I need to know. Let somebody come and tell me, and if this has happened, we will take action. So this was how he has vehemently denied this. But the very fact that open conversations are happening is also something that needs to be flagged. Also, if there is a divided Congress, which is clearly visible at this point of time, a divided Congress makes the BJP the happiest. And a situation where you have a new president coming in and there is a backlash and a revolt of sorts, and when with the MP himself saying he's not happy, this is music to BJP's ears. Because firstly, the RG, which could have, if the RG was absolutely honest, I must put this disclaimer, could have created problems for the BJP, but the RG being RG, it always manages to get enough votes to split the opposition and BJP wins, so that's another factor. But Viresh Borkar, to the best of my knowledge, was somebody who wanted to break away from Manoj Parab's shadow and be an honest opposition party which would take on the BJP. And I'm not insinuating anything, but what really happened was very shortly the RG exploded and the party literally went off. And so there is a weak, non-existent RG at this point of time. Now, if there is a divided Congress which is undecided or not firming up an alliance with the Goa Forward party, and you have blocks within the Congress who've taken absolute umbrage to Girish Chodankar's appointment, he has obviously not begun on the right note, or not at least on the note that he would have expected, and that is something that needs to be flagged and taken into account. So to sum this up, the Goa Pradesh Congress Committee, the new committee, is full of Girish Chodankar, Yuri Alemao loyalists. MK Sheikh is with all due respect, a relic of the past who's been put back as a working president. Of course, you have the Congress MLAs who are part of the team. Two of them are working presidents. One of them is a campaign committee president, which is Yuri Alemao. But it's clear which way this functions. Sunil Kautankar has been openly speaking against Amit Patkar. Sunil Kautankar also finds himself in the committee. These are clear-cut flags and indicators of which way the thing is going. Captain Viriat Fernandez, though he's the head of the manifesto committee, people who know, political observers and people who understand politics, know that the manifesto committee position is just a placeholder. It is the working committee, it is the president and the working president and the campaign committee head who takes a final call on ticket distribution and reviving the party during elections. And Captain Viriat Fernandez, after winning the last election for the Congress as an MP, doesn't find himself in that committee. He has been literally pushed aside into the manifesto committee zone. So these are a lot of things to unpack. But let us say this, that if the intention in bringing Girish Chodankar back into the fold was honest and genuine, and if he really wants to revive the Congress and further his career as somebody who can get things done as he has done in Tamil Nadu of sorts, then there has to be an honest effort on 2 or 3 aspects, and I'll flag them. Number one, a proactive approach towards alliances and firming up those alliances, going beyond answering questions when they come up, and very little happening after that. Number one, discussions have to happen. The committee has to meet. The Goa Forward and the Congress have to meet on a table, formally thrash things out. We will see if that happens. If that doesn't happen, we know that play acting is going on. Secondly, an overture has to be made to Captain Virat Fernandez and a lot of blocks that owe allegiance to him because of the work that he's put in. And he has to be roped in and made to feel that he's part of the inner circle, because a disgruntled Virat Fernandez will actually result in a lot of political doom for the Congress. It's very important to get him in because he's a person who's come from the community. He's not a political leader in the traditional sense. He has managed to get a lot of votes. There's a lot of civil society support in his favor. So an upset Virat Fernandez will not augur well for the Congress at all. These are two important things. Thirdly, the Congress has to decide on its seats and groom younger leaders to come in and be the faces right now, rather than they being people getting tickets, unknown people getting tickets at the last moment, literally hours before nominations close, and they rush to the party, get the symbol, get the Congress membership done at that point of time, and then rush to fill their nominations. So a person who's not even a congressman, half an hour before filing nominations becomes a candidate. So these are things that everybody in Goa has seen. It's no secret. All that should not happen. And it is only then that the Congress will be able to honestly fight this election in alliance if there's even a remote chance of making a difference and upsetting the BJP. That is all we have. We have today. Looking forward to a more honest approach on the part of the Congress. We will see how this unfolds. Keep following in Goa. Do subscribe to us. Do follow us on all our social media handles to ensure that you get in-depth coverage beyond breaking news and hearing and seeing news and information that ultimately matters.